Welcome to Cudler Invest channel. Regeneron Pharmaceuticals trading plan. Regeneron Pharmaceuticals is a major pharmaceutical company best known for its eye drug Eylea. The publication of data on Dupixent for the treatment of COPD, chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, pushed it to record highs. What's under the hood? Regeneron's Q4 2022 results were released on February 3, 2023. Revenue was $3.41 billion, down 31% from last year due to a decline in its REGN therapy for COVID-19. GAAP net income was $1.20 billion, down 46% from a year earlier. Excluding the drop in REGN, sales were up 14% YY. The main sources of income of the company. Dupixent. Dupixent was developed and marketed in partnership with Sanofi, SNY. It was approved in Europe in December 2022, and in the US, SPLA was submitted to the FDA in the fourth quarter for the treatment of chronic spontaneous urticaria. Given the label's rapid expansion and potential expansion outside the US, there is every reason to believe that Dupixent sales will continue to grow for at least the next few years. The latest news on March 23, 2023 was that the results of the Dupixent Phase 3 trial for the treatment of COPD were positive. COPD is the third leading cause of death worldwide, is very difficult to treat, and no new treatment has been approved in over a decade. The test showed a 30% reduction in the worsening of respiratory syndromes over 52 weeks. It also showed an improvement in lung function compared to the placebo group. The number of potential patients in the United States is estimated at 300,000 people. Regeneron will be discussing with the FDA whether a single Phase 3 trial will be sufficient for regulatory approval. Dupixent's current official price is $3,385 per box. Eylea, aflibercept, fourth quarter sales fell 4% year-on-year to $2.335 billion. Eylea's US sales were $1.49 billion, 5% below consensus. It is marketed in association with Bayer and was first approved by the FDA in 2011. It is also approved in the EU and other countries. In February of this year, the Food and Drug Administration, FDA, added an additional indication, Eylea, for preterm infants with retinopathy. He has long had rivals in indications, including those from Lucentis and Avastin, who now have biosimilars. Roche's Vabysmo, while not a biosimilar, represents a new competitive threat. Among others, Amgen has an Eylea biosimilar, ABP 938, which is expected to present its final Phase 3 analysis in the second quarter of 2023. Regeneron hopes to head off any competition by introducing a new 8 mg dose of Eylea that will be injected into the eyes at longer intervals. This could happen by the third quarter of 2023. Regeneron hopes this will become the new standard of care. Under the rules, new biosimilars cannot simply dispense the equivalent of 8 mg, although there is nothing to prevent physicians from using them off-label in this way. Eylea biosimilars at higher doses will have to go through the entire approval process again for a longer dosing interval. Regardless, I expect some price drops for Eylea to stay competitive. Beyond Eylea and Dupixent, the outlook for other approved Regeneron drugs is mixed. REGN's revenue is likely to continue to fall rapidly, which is one of the reasons the company hasn't released a 2023 revenue guidance. Great. The first thing to mention is that REGN is an extremely profitable company. Due to REGN, we see a surge in revenue during the pandemic, but now sales of this drug are falling. In any case, the company's balance sheet can be called ideal. The debt is more than 2 times covered by money. The current estimate is slightly overestimated, but it is still impossible to call the company expensive. Apparently, this is not enough for tough investors. The gurus are very actively dumping these shares. Technical analysis. The long-term trend of the company remains bullish, but the medium-term segment of this trend may already be in its final phase. My opinion. As an investor, I consider this company quite worthy of being in the portfolio, but as a trader, I expect a lower price. For me, the appearance of SET is a pattern. In this case, to the entrance to the short. Those. I don't think the company is terrible, but maybe they have too much momentum and will adjust a bit. Thank you for watching. Subscribe.